from Heavenly Hills Homestead, and today I am loading up our chest freezer with our fresh order of beef. So come along with me, give you guys a little update as to what we've been up to these days and organize my freezer with me. So we just got back from a 3-week long trip visiting family, traveling around the country. It was a lot of fun. But now we're back and it's back to the grind, back to getting all the things done. It is the tail end of spring, or true spring, here in North Idaho. So I still have my starts. You can see that's about half of them, maybe. I'm gonna be putting those in the ground later this week because we're finally past the last frost date here in North Idaho, and I can put them in the garden as soon as it's not pouring down rain, or and as soon as I get the last of the weeds pulled up. Those are almost up, so I'm hoping in the next day or two I can get that done. Today though, we picked up our order of beef. We do not raise our own cows on the homestead yet, but we still like to eat beef. So we were able to get a hold of a local farmer who raised these cows, and we bought a full cow from them and had it butchered. And today was the day that I got to drive to the butcher and pick up all of our meat, which is exciting. We got a full cow, which is a lot of meat. It'll definitely feed my family for a year. We love beef, so it'll probably last us about a year, maybe a little bit more, because we really like our red meat. And I've got this big chest freezer here, and it was just emptied before we left for our trip. So we literally ate our last package of beef right before we left on our trip. So it is perfect timing that we're home now and I can load up the freezer with this beef. And it's a lot. We've got like 600 pounds of beef or something like that. I'd have to look at the exact numbers. If you are not raising your own meat, animals like beef and all that, I would highly recommend getting a hold of a farmer near you and ordering a whole or a half or even a quarter, if you don't have that much freezer space, of cow or other animals that you want, like pigs, chickens, what have you. Sorry, I've got my dog scratching at the screen door here, or the glass door. You're gonna get a lot better of a price when you do it that way, and then you're also going to get a better quality animal usually. A lot of the grocery store beef, especially if you're not buying the organic pasture raised, grass-fed, grass-finished, that kind of meat at the store, a lot of them grow up on feedlots, which are just little tiny lots that they shove as many animals in as they can, and they're fed things that they wouldn't normally eat in the wild, like corn and soy, just to get them fat. It's not nearly as healthy or as high quality of a product. So if you can't raise it yourself, find a farmer. You can do it. Connect with somebody. Facebook is a great resource. You can find local groups where you are and just post in there and say, hey, I'm looking to buy beef or chicken or whatever it is, and someone on there will comment and hook you up. If you can't do that, then find a butcher near you, and they will have packages where you can buy a half or a whole or a quarter or whatever. You can buy meat in bulk. It's going to be a lot cheaper than what you get at the store. This cow that we got was grass-fed, grass-finished, never fed any grain, organic, everything. This cow was living a happy cow life in the pasture, and we got it for about, after cut and wrap and everything, it was about $6 a pound. So that is unbeatable for organic, grass-fed, grass-finished, pasture-raised beef these days. You don't see that anywhere. So that's why we went with a whole, and it's definitely an investment. It's a lot of money up front, but when you're breaking it down per pound, you're saving a lot. It is worth it, you guys. So I'm gonna get started cleaning out this freezer and then loading up what we have. Okay, well, I was pretty sure all the beef was gonna fit in the freezer, but it didn't. So, it's a good problem to run out of freezer space. So, let's figure it out. I've got this box here. This is my box of soup bones, and then a small bunch of ground beef that will fit in my house freezer. So we will get it to fit in there somehow. And I'll probably need to can up some of this beef, like stew meat and that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll do that and see how that goes. Okay, so I finally figured out where to put all of our beef. Last time you saw me, I was filling up this big freezer, and it is totally full of beef. We got a whole cow, so it is totally full. I also asked the butcher to keep the heart, the liver, and the bones for me. So I also asked for the fat, but there wasn't enough leftover fat to really give me anything. This cow was totally on pasture its whole life. So sometimes when you raise them that way, they don't have as much fat content because the fat comes from grain most of the time. So because I don't want beef that was fed a bunch of GMO grain, I'm okay with not getting as much of the fat. So anyways, all the beef here, I've got some of the beef liver here. What I did is I cut it up into about like half-pound sizes and then put them in baggies and froze them. What I like to do to incorporate liver with my family is I will just take a small portion and put it with ground meat. That way you don't taste it as much. We're pretty new to organ meat, so that is why we do that, because I want to get all the vitamins and nutrients that are in the liver, but we're not quite used to liver yet. So hopefully someday we can do some cool liver recipes, but until then I will just sneak it in with ground meat as I can. I also got my fridge freezer in the kitchen full because there was so much meat. We got almost 800 pounds of meat. I didn't have enough room in my big freezer, so I have in here more beef liver and heart, and there's some broth. I've got more ground meat here, and then here is all of my bones. This came in a big box that was perfectly square, but that was not going to fit in here, and it was frozen solid, so it just was not going to fit in here. So what I had to do is I had to defrost the bones just enough to be a little bit more malleable so I could kind of move them around and fit it in there, and then now it's frozen solid again. So we have a full cow and it is delicious. It broke down for us to about $6 a pound after butchering and all of that. So that is like unbeatable price for beef right now, especially if you factor in that this cow was completely organic, grass-fed, grass-finished, pasture-raised, all of that, non-GMO, all of it. So like beef like that, you can't find for anything less than $10 a pound where we live. In fact, just feedlot ground beef that is not organic or grass-fed at all in our area right now is around $7 to $10 a pound for the not as good quality stuff as what we have. So I'm really excited to have all that meat in the freezer to feed our family. That's going to feed us for at least a year. And we got all the parts of the animal. So that is just really exciting. It's so healthy for you to eat from nose to tail. We've got all those bones to make some amazing broth, to make some amazing soups. It's going to be great. And then the heart and the liver, like I said, cut that up into smaller pieces so we can grind it up and put it with ground meat and get all of that great organ meat goodness. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and a subscribe, and leave in the comments below if you buy your meat in bulk. As you know, if you've watched other videos, we like raising most of our own meat, but we're not in the place yet where we can raise our own beef yet. So it's really cool to connect with a local farmer and buy a whole cow from somebody who's doing it right, and their cows are living happy, healthy, natural cow lives. So let me know if you buy your meat in bulk or if you raise your own, and what your favorite animal to raise is for meat. And until next time, welcome to the homestead.